Welcome to the fourth of our videos, this time looking at the fourth page of the GCSE AQA specimen exam paper. So in this one we're still on question 2, but this time round we are looking at excerpt B. So we're going to hear this one twice in a row presumably. The first question, what is this an example of? So there are 4 words. Again, circle your answer, not your answers. So you should only be looking for one answer, and you can confirm that by looking at how many marks are available. Only one, so you're only going to circle one of them. Now, each of these words we have come across before. A cappella we've come across a few times, but in particular at the end of year 10 when we were doing music for voices, and this refers to when they're singing without instrumental accompaniment. Canon we came across in the same unit when we were doing music for voices, or Baylis Court Schola Cantorum as we called it. Canon is where you've got a melody being played and then it's overlapped with the same melody played again at the same pitch just slightly later. So a canon is very similar to a round, for example London's Burning or Frere Jacques or something like that. Call and response is when a musical phrase is answered by another musical phrase, normally swapped between 2 different instruments. We did this one even back when you were in year 9, so that shouldn't be a problem at all. And then crescendo is when the music gets gradually louder over time. So you'd need to pick which one of these answers and put a circle around it. We can have a quick look at the exam board's mark scheme. 2C is call and response, so I'll put a circle around call and response. There we go. Question 2D is similar. What is the correct term? So it's looking for one word again, so you already know you're only looking for one answer for when more than one rhythm is played at a time. Now I'm just going to underline that actually, when more than one rhythm is played at a time, because that's the key term that you're looking for here. Now each of these here we should know the answer to. A dotted rhythm is when you add half the note length again. You can see an example of a dotted rhythm from something we'll be looking at later here, where we've got an 8th note with a dot, so that's worth an 8th note plus a 16th note. You'd normally put the missing value to make it up to the full quarter at the end, so you'd have this sort of pattern of da 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 da. That's a dotted rhythm. A polyrhythm is the correct answer. There's 2 different rhythms being played at the same time. Syncopation was a recent word of the week, so that should be nice and easy. That's an offbeat rhythm. And triplets are when you've got 3 different notes in one note value. So for example, 3 notes in the space of a quarter note. So that would be something like lemonade, 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 lemonade. Okay. So obviously the correct answer, again looking for 1 mark, looking for the correct term, is in this case, according to the mark scheme and just by a simple definition, more than one rhythm played at a time, is polyrhythm. And then again, just like at the end of question 2B that we saw, what is the musical culture played in this excerpt? So where does it come from? Again, worth 1 mark. Only one culture, the musical culture. And if we look at the exam board this time around, it's African music. So let's pop that in there. There we go. Okay, so excerpt B, we've gone through all of these answers here. I would take this as an opportunity to revise a few things. I would start with revising all of the key terms here. A cappella and canon in particular we've not really used since year 10, I'm thinking. Actually maybe we've used a cappella a bit, but call and response and crescendo you should be quite familiar with already, but it might be worth just having a listen through some examples of those. Dotted rhythms, we have used them a lot, we haven't spoken about them a lot, so you might want to go and Google a few examples of dotted rhythms or YouTube a few examples. Polyrhythm, you might want to go and have a listen to some examples. Syncopation, let's re-watch the syncopation video from Word of the Week. Triplets, you might want to Google some examples of triplets or YouTube some examples, and you might want to look at some examples of African music. There you go.